Alright, so now let's remove our the dist folder, the dist directory we mistakenly committed. So that will be something we have to do because we don't want those files to be in our Git repo anymore. So for doing so, I will just execute the following. It's a git filter branch, that's a command, and then we use force index filter, and then here to be git rm to remove rm cached because it's in the cache, it's in the git tree, and then ignore unmatched, and the folder will be dist. Now this one is like a git extension, a git plugin, so let's see if it will work for you. And in my case I will just press enter. Normally it should be fine in your case, the filter branch, but if it doesn't work you might have to change something. However, as you could have seen, we had an error, and the error is because we need to commit our uncommitted, our unstaged changes. So let's first commit our unstaged changes, and then after we can proceed to this. So you have to do git status, we commit the readme changes I have done previously, and I will do like probably to be update readme update to reflect to live coding. Yeah, building public live coding to built-in public live coding. Perfect. And I will just sorry, I did delete, we don't have to delete those files for now, so I will do git reset, git restore, git reset. Perfect. And the other one, git status, this one I will just remove that one too. Git restore. Perfect. Awesome. So now we only have readme, so let's commit this one, git add, yes, and let's commit that one commit for what we do. So here it's about the readme changes, because the two other files I did remove, but we will remove them later. They were irrelevant. So now we can proceed to what we need, and that's our command. So let's execute this. So again, to look for the history on bash, I use the arrow key up and down. So in my case it's up to go to the history up. You see, now it does work. So you just have to make sure your staging area is clean. So now we have removed those files, and we can do a git push force. What I will do is git push origin force, so it could be just F or force like this, and then I will do hold. Perfect, just like this. And normally now we wouldn't have the dist folder anymore in our Git repository. Let's have a look on GitHub. Go, in my case it's launch in public, and then when we go to backend, and here you see I don't have the dist folder anymore, and you see that's a really latest changes I have done for the readme file, the latest one. So it was 2 commits, so not that one, yeah, that one actually. And when we did remove our dist folder, we don't see it because we just did a git force, and we didn't have to commit anything. It's just to remove from the git history what we had. So again, it was just if we look back to the comment, just removing the dist folder from the git history. So now at least we have that fixed, so that's amazing. Alright, so now we can just run the server. So Postman, that will be where we will test our API, and again we can do a npm run start, because if we check on our if we check here on Visual Studio Code, And yeah, that's I will just open for the backend. Let me just open it here. And here let's do the backend. Oh, it's not showing there. I will just open a new window like that here. And then here we do again, I will go to build in public, and then I will go to backend diary, and there I will open VS Code, and I will remove that one. Oops, it didn't. Code, yes, just a dot. Perfect. And so here, as we can see, we have the ping endpoint. That's one endpoint we have, and that's pretty much it. And then there we use the same format actually as the app.ts, so we do something like that with reply and status. It's just better. In the long term it's better. It's just more efficient than returning. We could of course return in an object, but we cannot handle the HTTP status code and so on. So if I use reply, and then if I do status, and then I would use here status code from there, and OK, and thereafter I will use the response. So there are two parentheses, and then the response I will send, and what I will send will be, at the moment it will be just a root, so maybe we can have an object. So here we do like const, yeah, response equals, and then the object will be like, it will be, probably it will be something like note, or maybe, yeah, content, to be content, and then it should be this is my first node. We just hard coded what we write here, first node. Of course later it's nice to store that in the database, but at the moment we can just hard code that. We could even have a static dynamic data. We can store it in the dynamic memory of our server, so we can do like data dynamic db data or something like that, empty array, and later we can use, like for the moment we can use a map as well, and so we can push the data in the map, and so here we can just return directly that. So I will remove the response here, and I will give that. So that will be for us, and oh yeah, we'll yeah, it will be any. Oh sorry, that's not. It's here, any, perfect. And then I will remove that. Awesome. So that's our first endpoint, the get, and then we can have a post again. Post. We take the data from the body. We push. We use the push function, the array push. We don't need to use a map actually at the moment. No map required. So we just use push from the array. Like array has a push function. It's like a native push JavaScript function. Always part of the language, JavaScript language. And then here, created when we like in RESTful API, created is 201. It's nice to use 201 when you create a resource instead of 200. So we use created here, and then we can do the same to delete. So again, it's like a code. So in our case, we can do patch first for update. So that will be to update our data. And again, I have Copilot doing a nice job for me. This code is really basic, but that's what we will be doing. And then I will have exactly the same for delete. It knows because code is something quite popular. Code endpoints, perfect. For the diary app, yes. Alright, and here we have the same for the delete. I just have some, oh yeah, that's the any I will use, so that's okay. I will maybe ignore those. I will use any here and here too, or maybe we should use a type actually. So item, we will do, let's create a type as well, diary, and then ID, content, and so on. And so here it will be diary, like this. There too it will be diary. Oops. Perfect. Of course, if you don't have the right capitalization, you have to be careful. It's D uppercase and then everything else lowercase. Here I have another error there. So let's see what, oh yeah, of course I missed a parentheses there. And finally here ID is unknown, so we'll do, we probably for the delete, yeah, for the delete we only need ID string, we don't need anything else. Yeah, so that's a correct type. And there it will be patch, oh actually it will be diary too. Oh sorry, it's not there, it should be part of here, dynamic, diary, I'm just messing up everything, but that's okay, so it will be here. Okay, here we are, but sorry, I'm just messing up, I'm just a bit confused. Oh yeah, the spread may quit from, I'm not too sure actually for the fix, to be honest. Here the type was correct. Let's see what fix. Okay, so we have, okay, right, with the parentheses, and then we do as object. Object is also a type in JavaScript, although rarely used, not really recommended. What if I do stay over here? I think that will be the best approach, yes. What I did before didn't work because we need parentheses, otherwise the rest will get confused with the spread operator. Because it will interpret the code from left to right, and if we don't add instructions with the parentheses, it will just it will not work basically. So here also that one will be diary. Yeah, in my case diary, perfect. Sorry, as, yeah, of course, like this, perfect. Here we are. So that's pretty much it actually for our route. Okay. Sometimes you are a bit distracted with the music, or you think about something else, and you can make some silly typos or silly mistakes like that. But at the end of the day, it's very clear and very straightforward. Of course, like again to show you, like here we cannot do that because we don't declare the variable. It's only the colon is when we would declare the variable, but otherwise we would have the as keyword. So like this with the as keyword. So now that's working. We can already commit to that, and then we can test it. Oh yeah, I wanted also to check the package.json. So you see we did npm start, and so now it's running this line. So in my case I will just close that one. I will reopen it. Again, to open the terminal in VS Code, you do Control and tick in Mac, just if you want that. And then I will commit basically everything. And here, add CRUD. So CRUD again is for create, read, update, and delete, which we do actually. Basically, we do here, we are reading, we create, we update, and then here we delete. Perfect. So now I will just make it a little bit bigger. So now that's done, and we can try this. Oh yes, perfect. So we can try. So now if I do, for instance, if I want to create something, a new diary. So again, it's a good idea to look at the types. Here it will be ID, title. So ID it will be optional when we create. So that's why we have a question mark. And then perfect. And then here, just go there, title, content, and created at. That could be date actually, like this. Yes. And title, I will just add it here like that. So it will be easier for me. My note, title, it will be yes, content, my title. Here I will do my note, oops, like that, and then created ad could be also optional or not. Actually, I can. We don't need to. Yeah. Maybe we will do created at, and then it will be a date, and the date will be, yeah, maybe let's keep it as a string probably, because it could just be, maybe it will be up to yeah, or perhaps the backend will decide of the, yeah, I'm still thinking of created at how it should be done. I think it will be optional, and if it's not mentioned, the API will populate that one. So it will be if title and content are not provided, of course we will have an error. And then if first let's do body. If we don't have the created at, yes, then it will be okay. That's exactly what I wanted. Then it will be body created at, and then we initiate that. So for us that will be exactly what we want. And then here it's not valid actually. It should be const body equals, and then we'll have request.body. Perfect, just like this. Awesome. So now we'll just go back to our terminal, and I will make sure I restart just in case. And here I do submit. You see I have a title, content, and that's the auto populate created at, because again what we mentioned here, if we don't have created at, we just set the created at. So that's exactly what we want. And then the ID will probably be 1. So now if I do get, if I do 1, let's see. Oh, 1 I have nothing. So the way it will get the name, let me double check here. Created ads, patch. Of course, when we let Copilot doing it for us, we are not too sure how it will behave. Oh, that's to get everything, yes. So we don't have 1 to get only 1. Yes, that one is to get everything, to get all of the nodes. And this one will be to get only a specific node. Alright, and one last thing we have to do, as you can see, it will check the ID from the ID we mentioned on Postman, so like ID 1. But now the issue, of course, is that at the moment we don't record any IDs. When we create a new node, like my title 2 and my node 2, this one, oh sorry, I have to do post and like this. We create a new note, but as you can see, it doesn't record any ID. It doesn't have an ID, and that's our problem. When now we retrieve all of the notes, we have 3 notes, but we don't have any ID. So we need to store an ID, otherwise this one will not work. It doesn't know what to get. An ID, it has to be something unique, because if we use a title, that could be a solution, but a title is not unique for the note. So we need something unique to know which note to retrieve. A unique note. Each note has to have a unique DNA, and the DNA of the note is the ID. So here I will here we can do body.id. This one is not correct because it will not be unique. So what we will do, it will be incremental, and we will use the dynamic DB data. So plus length plus toString. It doesn't have to be toString actually. No, because we will increment plus one like this, and that will be the ID of the note plus 1. So all of the notes, so at the moment we have 1, 2, 3, so the next note it will be 4. So that 1, 2, 3 notes, it will return length, will return 3, because in total we will have 3 notes. That's the total of in the array we have 3 objects, 1, 2, 3 elements, and then plus 1 for the new note. Now we should be okay with that, because the ID will always be unique. We make sure it's just a total of nodes plus 1. We could use UUID as well, a UUID, but in this case it's not needed. I will just quickly restart the server, and I will run Postman again, and so I will create again a node. So that will be, oh yeah, because we started the server, we will have 0 nodes in total. So now if I try to get nodes, it will be empty, because we dynamically store our nodes, and that means as soon as we restart the server, it will be again, everything will be erased, because it's in the dynamic memory of the server, and so of the computer basically. So now I will create a new node. My title, or could be just here could be just my new node, something like that, and that's my node. And you see I have an ID there, amazing. And now if I create a new one, I have ID 2, and now I should be able to retrieve the node. So if I do get one, retrieve this. Let's see here. Maybe it's because I didn't cast the ID, and when we call it from Postman, it will be a string actually, and we store it as an integer. So that could be the issue. So we can either use parse integer like this with the ID, or to cast it as a string, but let's use parse integer. So what we are going to do here, request our ID, and then const, it will be new, it will be, how I call it, ID, no, we don't have, maybe I'm going to do it, ID, ID integer, let's do ID integer equals parse integer, and then I will just do convert to integer, and or maybe we use the 10 to make sure that we interpret that one as a decimal number. So cast to integer this the summon number with the 10 as argument. So we will use that one, we will use it here, and that one, I think I have to update the interface here by seeing number, yes, like that. So now it will work, it should undefined, oh yeah, because on undefined, oh no, I'm just going to, oh yeah, no, that's okay. We will update the other ones. Here, so we have patch, we have delete, we'll update the others. So this one is done, that one is done, it works correctly, and then we will have to update the patch one. We have to do the same. There, const id. Again, we can just copy paste actually what we did just here. We can just copy paste that. We'll add a new line there for readability, and then so here we just do, maybe I will go there, I will do that, and here ID, oh yeah, as diary, that wasn't correct actually, it was supposed to be here, yes, sorry, my bad, here, yes, request, oh no, sorry, I will do dot body, like that, awesome, here we are, nearly there, perfect, that's what we want, and then here we will do ID and string first, and then we cast, and then we do ID integer there, oh sorry, that's invalid, ID integer like that, and then for delete we will we do the same actually, yeah, as simple. So again, or we can directly, yeah, we could actually there, that's okay, we can just do parse integer. For that one I will just do a parse integer like that. I will not use the second parameter, just like this, and I think we are all good to go now. It should be all good. So that's our endpoints, and now we can test it. I will just quickly run again the server. We will start it, and I will let's try. That's now the exciting time. So we have our node and this JSON, perfect. Let's create our node. Awesome, we have one node, and now if I want to retrieve ID1, get ID1, I have it, you see. And now if I want to do new node, so you see it was because we were using the street comparison. Sorry, I'm always on the front end on our React Native app, but at the moment we are working in the back end. So because we use a street type comparison, we have to cast it, because since on Postman this is a string, and it's always better to store it as an integer in our database. Well, in our case it's just an array, but that's fine. So because we store it like this in the memory basically, but because it's an integer we just have to cast it with parse int. You can cast it in different ways. In our case we use parse int. That's just it works, just it does the right job. So we have this one, and now we want to add a new node, my new node, new content, perfect. I press submit, I have the new node. Now if I want to get node 1 is that one, node 2 is this one, you see it works. And now if I want to delete one node, well, let's first do patch to update. So if I want to update the new node to updated node, and now if I want to retrieve the updated node, it should be the same. And if I want to retrieve one, yeah, see, it works. And now if I want to delete node 1, it has been deleted to offer no content. We can of course add a response, so we can do send, or then we can do like okay, and then message not entry deleted. That's it. And let's try quickly restart. We will just add a new note here, and later on we can automate that with Cypress, for instance. Cypress is a really good tool for that. So here I will create a new note, new content. I created that note, and I want to get note 1. Now it will be note 1, yes. I delete note 1, new entry deleted. Now I want to get note 1. It will not work for 04. I can also add something instead of having nothing, no 404, but we will also do here. I will also add something like a message not entry not found. We can even do a log like info, just for us. Later on it's nice to have a login library such as Pinot. In my case I like Pinot. It's a nice logger, or you could use Winston. It's also it's also a good one, but Pinot to me it's better nowadays for 2024 2025. It's better to use Pinot. Winston, it was good like 5, 6, 7 years ago, but nowadays it's a bit heavy, and I just like to use more modern and recent login libraries without too many legacy issues, which Winston has been out there for a while, but also because of that reason there are a lot of legacy things that takes time to bring to the new standard, and it's just better than to use a brand new library for that. So Pinot, that could be an option. I was speaking to you about Cypress for testing all of this and automate everything. Cypress, it's a really powerful library too. So yeah, basically this is all done. So now we can just commit everything. I'm just checking if we... Yeah, I think we are all happy with this. Post ID, and I'm just checking if we want to do another check about content. Oh yeah, having our length plus 1 0. No, that's fine. We don't need actually that, because it will always this one will always have something. Yeah, that's so good. Okay, so let's just commit all of this. Let's go to our terminal, and I will just close this first. I will make this a little bit bigger. Perfect. I will do git add, and here basically we can commit everything. See, not too many changes basically, and so we have the get to retrieve the ID, the note ID, sorry, and then some other changes. Retrieve note per the ID, and before we set the ID property, add ID to each node plus retrieve node per the ID. Perfect, and I think that's it. Yeah, git status. And if you wonder, git st, I have spoken about it already in a previous live, but git st is just an alias I have added. So if you wonder, I have a lot of aliases, and st is just for git status. You see, just there. You can also check it out, my git config, so I publish it on Git. So my git config, I will just do recently updated here, and it's public, so you can have a look to my git config on my GitHub, and so you can just copy this from my GitHub directly. So it's a public one, ph-7 and git config, and for the Git. And Cypress that I was speaking to you about is this one. That's the one. Really good one. I used to be part of the Guild team, I was responsible to onboard everybody in my team on Cypress. When I was working at Honeywell, I've been using Cypress for a really long time. I was also making the documentation, the videos, and making sure everybody was using Cypress properly based on the company's specification. And I had a really good experience with Cypress, so I highly recommend you to use Cypress as well for testing your API, for instance. And then now we can just do git push to push, or git ph actually, which is my alias, to push the recent changes we have done in our API. Beautiful. So that's done for this live, and I will see you in live 8.